Here's something you don't see every day. A job application for digital. Anyway, so my coworker is selling, actually sold his house, and he had all this extra drywall from a project that he did and never finished. These were 4x8 sheets. Now they're not. What happened was I had to get them home somehow, so I had to cut them in half because you can't fit a 4x8 sheet of anything in a Hyundai Santa Fe. Because they're too long. So I cut these into 4x4 squares, and that is how I'm going to get them in the house. He also gave me this sweet Commodore SX64. Needs some work. It'll be a video in the future. But quick sneak peek here. It's an all-in-one. I have this strip. It's not missing. But it's going to need some restoration work. But there she is. Keyboard cables inside. It's got a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk and a color display. Ooh. No floppy. Oh, I got a couple of floppy disks. I have no clue how to use a Commodore. I have never used a Commodore. I know, right? A guy who collects vintage computers has never used a Commodore. Is that latch broken? I think so. No, I don't think it is. But this thing's going to need some help. And then another project for another day. Well, we'll have to... Maybe you push it in. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright, I gotta get these sheets downstairs. What are we gonna... I got some drywall compound. I got some new putty knives. I got some mold prevention paint. What I want to do, and when he told me he had all this drywall just kicking around, chilling, doing nothing, it gave me an idea. You see these walls? Yeah, I know, right? Well, they never finished, obviously they never finished the exterior of this room, and I hope I have enough drywall to get most of it done. If not all of it, most of it. If I could get up to here and then maybe back that way a little bit, I would be happy. I would be okay with that. But I want to finish these walls, I mean, because it would look so much better. You know, now that I'm going to have a sink there, and I got the sink drain kit. This is how it came. Well, not loosely packed, but what worries me is this flange is so freaking thin. That may not survive. I might have to see if I can't source another flange. I just, those ears are going to break off, I know it. Alright, we got to move this rack out of the way. I may just disassemble it and put it aside. Gotta get it out of the way. My bulb collection, everything gone. The studs are there for me to mount to for the most part. They're not 16 on center. They're whatever on center. I think that one's 24. That one's like 22. Those are, yeah, it's just a, whatever. It's just a wall. I'm not too worried. I'm going to put an outlet on this stud right here. Maybe this stud, maybe that stud, maybe that stud. That would be a better idea. I'm going to put an outlet there. It's going to be a rocking good time. Alright, let's get this shit out of the way. So I just test fit one of the pieces right here. You know, these pieces are not in great shape. They're probably garbage. But that's okay. They're free. And I don't have to pay money for them, which is always nice. So I added, just really quick, I threw an outlet in there. And so we'll have some power. I'm going to have to put a spacer. Just a piece of trim board. We don't want the drywall on the ground. You want it to be slightly off. This is the wrong drywall. Yes, folks, I know. Someone's going to point it out, and I know. This is not the right stuff to use. Actually, the correct drywall for this application is green. or pink. One of those two. I'm actually probably going to not use this piece for the bottom because it does have a damaged corner. I have a better piece I can put here, and this way we'll chop the damaged part of this off, and that'll go towards the ceiling. I'm going to put some support, additional support in the middle here. Because this is so thin, this is actually 3/8. If I say 1/4 inch, I mean 3/8 of an inch. I may have said that a few times in this video. Yeah, you need 16 on center to use this stuff, and they did it almost 24 inches on center. So you really should be using 1/2 inch. Actually, they used, I believe it's 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They used a 1/2 inch drywall. Whatever. It was free. You know, I'm not gonna. You know, don't look at free drywall towards the thickness or however that. Don't look at a horse's mouth. Don't look at a horse's mouth if you're buying it. Whatever. Anyway, I'm not very smart. Okay, we got one piece in. Woohoo! I'd like to have this wall done for today. I'm gonna have to put a stud here because they, you know, they didn't put one there. Yeah. So the stud's gonna go right here. It should fit, and that'll finish that framing out. This is working nicely. Now, this piece of drywall, it's got a damaged edge right here. We're gonna cut that edge off, and we're gonna use what's left of it to fill in this space here. How do we cut drywall? Well, I'm glad you asked. You want to get yourself a nice T-square. Here's one. And you're going to want to, let's see, that edge is bad. That's the full, okay. I'm trying to think what side I cut it from. I think I cut it from that side, from the mother sheet. We're going to take our T-square, and we're going to use it as a guide. Since I'm not going to use this piece, I'm going to just kneel. I made my mark here. Now the T-square is 4 feet long. Hopefully it's actually square. Let me get the position on this somewhere else here. Alright, I'm going to use my blade. And I'm going to score along the T-square. Probably score it again for good measure. Score. There we go. Okay. All right. We're going to take the sheet and we're going to flip it upside down. Or right side up or down side up. I don't know. Oh, it's already broken. All right. Normally, you would just snap it right there. So we're going to fold it back on itself like that. We're going to take our blade and we're going to cut along that fold on the inside. Like so. Just like that. You can now discard the damaged section of this otherwise beautiful piece of drywall. This is the part that always trips me up, and that's cutting in outlets. They actually make a roto zip tool for this, but I don't have one. Okay, so from the edge of the sheet, we need to cut in about 3 1/4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark that on the sheet. Where did I put my marks? Right there. All right. Now, we've got that awkward inch or so of material to mess with. So this is this line, and then there's this line. So 3 1/4 inch. This, by the way, is not the right way to do it. There are more professional and accurate ways to do this. This is how I do it. Okay. This is probably why I'm not very good at this. All right, so I'm going to put the sheet down on the ground. I do not like this. I hate this. I'm going to use my T-square to mark off my marks. What did I say it was? 3 1/4. Where? There's that mark right there. Let's slide this back a little bit. More. If I were to go on a construction site as a wallboard hanger, they would fire me. But then again, I probably would have some. Oops, there we go. I don't have any training either, so you know, for what it's worth. All right. Then we're going to bring our T-square here. We're gonna. Oh, there are so many much better ways to do this shit. Okay. All right, now we got to figure out where that. So, if I cut that all the way in like that, it's not going to look good. I'm going to have to fill it all in. It's going to look gross, and it's not going to look good. So, how far in is the outlet box edge from the edge of the hole? About 3/4 of an inch. So, with a roto-zip, or the correct tool, I could theoretically cut this hole out. I might be able to do it. What do you think? I might be able to accomplish it. Let's see. No, I don't think so. We're so close to the board edge that getting that cleanly cut, that's not going to be easy. If I were using the keyhole saw method, which is what I usually would do. Where's my blade? I might need a fresh razor blade for this. Yeah, this blade's nasty. Let me get a new blade. 1877 kidneys for cash. KIDNEYS for cash. 1877 kidneys for cash. You only need one to lift. No, don't put your fingers near the damn blade, asshole. There we go. I might be able to do it. This is a brand new blade. Just kind of keep going with it. Wallboard is really not. It doesn't put up a fight. It's made out of gypsum with a paper backing. It's this stuff, which is why people overseas think American houses are so cheaply built. But they're not wrong, because they are cheaply built, especially new ones. The houses made today are so poorly built in comparison to the older homes of like the post-war era. It's sad, really. I think you can just cut across. Oops, I mean a straight. You can just kind of do this and break it up. I've seen that done. Yeah. If you're careful. There are better ways. Sweetly. I want to do a clean cut on the other side, but I have to then transfer the measurements. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know I've seen this done before. It's only 1/4 inch. It can't be that bad, right? You know what I'm saying? I think we're through. We're through! Damn it! Pack your shit! Yeah, that's one way to do it. It's not delicate. We're easy. But I think it'll be a clean hole. What do you think? There we go. Make sure we cut that all the way through. Yeah, okay. There we are. That's one way to do it. Look at that. Hey! And if we have to make any adjustments or modifications to the hole, we can do that. Now is where we find out we put the hole in the wrong spot. Which, if we paid money for this drywall, we'd be pretty pissed off. Yes. I've screwed this up before. All I gotta do is shave a little bit off the edge with our knife and we're in. There we are. Look at that. Beautiful! I made a mistake. I pushed it a little too hard and it caused some of the paper to bubble, but once the outlet cover is on, no one's gonna know. I mean, honestly, if you buy a brand new house today, chances are the guys doing the drywall are no more skilled than I am. So I feel good about that. Well, I feel good that I didn't buy a brand new house, but I don't feel that good about my own skill. Lacking as they may be. Now for the satisfying part. We're going to screw the wall. To the wall. Get yourself some drywall screws and a full battery. Now I made sure that these screws are not deep enough to puncture any wires. It's kind of important. Isn't it pretty? That outlet box, that actually came out real nice. I'm pretty happy about how that came out. I'm glad I thought to put one in before I started finishing the wall because, you know, that would be a very unfortunate mistake to make. Alright, so now we're round 2 of how not to frame a wall 101. So this here, I'm actually installing this. When you build a corner of a wall, you gotta have 2 opposing studs like this. Otherwise, what the fuck? Seriously. Anyway, this block right here was installed crooked, so I couldn't put the stud in flush with this stud. So I had to chisel off, just peeled it away like string cheese with a hammer and a chisel. Now I also had to chisel out some of the old bottom plate. So when they put this wall in, it looked like they wanted the wall to go all the way to here. So they put a stud here and a stud here. It doesn't line up with all the other stuff, but whatever. Apparently it's whatever day. And they actually used a ram set to put a bottom plate. They didn't use pressure treated. I mean, failures abound. This is what you get when you think DIY. This is what you get with a DIY basement finishing project. Now this stud should be in line with that stud and vice versa. So this is going to come out eventually, and I'm going to drywall down this side too. Because I have 1/4 inch drywall, it should fit between the stair steps and the studs. In fact, we can confirm that by taking a scrap piece and using it as kind of like a makeshift feeler gauge. And we will be able, with the amount of material I have, I should be able to do this whole project all the way up to that stud right there, which is all I really want to do. And yeah, and that'll fit in just nicely. It even goes between, oh, that's even cooler. Now we might have some problems when we get to that point over there, but we'll figure that out. I might have to zing the steps short a little bit. No worries. Okay, I'm on a roll. Anyway, this is going to get screwed in with construction screws all the way down the side here. And that's it. And we're on our way. I'm reusing the studs that I pulled out of that section there. Recycled, man. This is all recycled. I haven't spent a dime. Oh, no, I have. I had to buy screws and drywall compound, but hey. Alright, you get the idea. So you'll notice that this looks a little odd. So rather than cut up another full 4x4 sheet or half sheet, I went through my scrap and I took off more of the bad stuff and I cut out some good pieces to put here and here. So really, we're not wasting anything. This is all, I mean, even except for the really bad delaminating sections. I mean, these were in storage for a long time. Probably bought these sheets about 15 years ago or so. So they're not new by any stretch, which is why they don't look new, and that's why I didn't pay new drywall prices. Just to get an idea as to how much money I've saved by using recycled materials, let's see. According to Home Depot, they're $12 a sheet, so we really didn't save a hell of a lot of money. I think I probably got about maybe 4 full sheets. So I mean, that's, you know, that's something. You know, but you'll also notice that some of these sheets are backwards. There is a side, there is an interior side and an exterior side with drywall. And some of these are backwards and some of them are forwards. As far as I know, the bright white side is the surface. That is the side that faces you. The printed side goes on the back. Yes, I am aware of this. The reason I did it this way is because not all of these sheets had pretty face sides, so I had to flip them backwards. I'm really not concerned about the finish quality here. This, again, is a utility area. This is not the living room. This is not the dining room. But I'm loving how this came out. I'm actually going to piece in drywall up here as well. I might do that right now. But all in all, this is looking pretty snazzy. Alright, so we got all that filled in. Again, using just little pieces I had kicking around. So, you know, we're trying just to use as much material as we possibly can so it doesn't go to waste. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah, I've been doing the drywall up there at the new McDonald's. Anyway, love that movie. I just did some taping. Now, this is a different product from what you usually see. Most professionals use paper tape. I have tried using this stuff in the past, and I just gave up in mind-blowing frustration. Taping seams is an art form. It's a skill. It really is. You know, a lot of people think drywalling is just a simple job. It's a skill. To get that nice, perfect, smooth finish. But one of the key steps in getting a nice, smooth wall is nice, smooth taping of the joints. Now what this does is it provides a nice surface for the drywall compound to adhere to between joints. This stuff that I found is called Fibra tape. And it's basically I think it's almost a fiberglass mesh. And I like this stuff because it's self-adhesive and it's porous. So you kind of, you can push the drywall compound through it and it becomes one with the compound. Not that there's anything wrong with drywall tape, but for a DIYer like myself, it's a pain in the ass to use. I have not had good results with it. In fact, I got so fed up with drywall tape when I did the half wall at my condo. I actually used pine boards between the seams because I'm like, screw this. I am not doing this. This is a nightmare. I couldn't get the seams right. So I cheated and I used stained pine boards. No one knew the wiser. Everyone was none the wiser. Whatever. It looked good. Nobody complained when I sold it, and it was actually, I got compliments on it. So when in reality it was because I suck at drywall. But this fiber tape is nice. It just sticks right to the wall, and you just over it with your drywall compound, joint compound, and that's it. Little Oreo was like, "What the hell? This looks different. What's different? This isn't right. What's going on? Where am I? Is this real life?" Okay. When I start up tomorrow, I'm gonna do the drywall on this side. So wish me luck. All right, so I'm getting set up to remove this. Now this is an original. It's original to the house. Just like this one, and we need to cut it out. So we're gonna cut the top, and hopefully maybe cut it flush with the stair at the bottom. Let's see what we got going on down there. Yeah, I think I might be able to pound it with a hammer. We'll see what happens. I don't have any short demo blades. I have this really long one, so I can't put it up against. Yeah. Now these are kind of unwieldy because I can't put it up against the beam. One nail left holding it in. Yeah, like I said, it's the wrong blade for the job. It's going to likely lead to my injury. One more nail. See that the blade ended up hitting the beam and almost knocked me off the stairs. Hey, whatever. I didn't die. Could have, but I didn't. Yeah. That's alright. Nails are a little bit long, aren't they? To cut the nails with the Sawzall. And plug it. Now we're going to reuse this wood. We're going to cut this up and we're going to fill in where the header should be. See, if we don't have to waste the materials, we're not gonna. So I'm going to cut that up. I'm going to measure the distance between here and here. Bing, 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 bing. And we're going to make our own header. Well, not header, but top plate, sorry. Okay, now for the game of why does modern lumber suck so much? Well, here's why. Check this out. This is new growth lumber. This is what they sell today. This is what people are using to build their houses. Okay. This is old growth lumber. Look at the number of rings. Now we're approaching the center of the tree here, right about there. Same with this. This is the center of the tree. Look at that. I mean, the difference is stark. Modern, old. And that is why old lumber is so goddamn strong. This was harder to cut for that little saw. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the saw, but this actually put up this put up a bit of a fight, whereas this did not. It cut like butter. Now this is from a sawmill right here, and let's see what that grain looks like. Yeah, this is actually further out. That probably came from a good sized tree though. But yeah, that is why this right here is a little bit more than this. And there I have it. There you have it. That was a trick shot. Tripped on that. I'm wearing, don't worry, these are steel-toed slippers. Alright, so I got some, this isn't put in yet, it's just sitting here. We got some cross bracing and blocking, whatever you want to call it. And we got our fake top plate, which is fictional. And then we're going to just, and then over there, and we'll see what happens. But I got to move the world to get to that point. I had to add a stud. I don't know if you noticed, that stud was not there. I had to put that in. All of this is, all I'm using is scrap. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We're just using what we have here, and that's that. I did a quick inspection of that post right there. It seems to be solid. It's a concrete filled lolly column, so there's a little bit of scaly rust on the bottom, but it's not through. I'm going to coat that with a little bit of lanolin oil. We're just going to spray it around there before we seal it up. I think that'll do wonders to prevent any further erosion. The reason those are rusting, and this is pretty common, actually it's pretty much a guaranteed, but the reason these posts rust from the bottom is because the concrete inside, I believe, is wicking the moisture up from the slab and causing it to rust. But I mean, from what I've read, if they're hollow, they can collapse at that stage, but if they're concrete filled, and they are concrete filled, they should not present any problems. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's been that way forever, and you know, a little bit of an accident when I pushed up on that fake top plate, which obviously there's nothing supporting this drywall. So clearly that's an easy fix. I'll just patch it. I think I still have some of this paint left, so I should be able to do that pretty easily. So that is now fastened. I actually left this edge on this side because it was the most damaged, and we're going to just go ahead and trim it in place. I'm going to score it, snap it, and cut it. Oh, this is 1/2 inch. This is not 1/4 inch. I was corrected when I went to Lowe's to see what they had in, what the price was on each panel while I was buying more screws. This is actually not 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is very thin. This is actually, I believe, 3/8. I'm sorry, not 1/2 inch. It's 3/8. And we can see what the actual thickness is right now. But 1/4 inch is, yeah, it's much thinner. This is actually what? You want to measure the thickness from the cut edge. It is 3/8. Actually, no. Yeah, it is 3/8. But when I'm going to eventually build a finished room in here, and like this will be all drywall all around, but I'm going to use the right stuff, of course. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to get the mold resistant. But what I'm going to do is, this is going to become a closet underneath. I'll put a closet under the stairwell. So I'm not going to bother finishing this side under the stairwell. It's not really that critical, or even necessary. So, but what I'm going to do is I want to get at least up to that stud right there, or however far my next panel gets me, and then that's going to be finished off. So, all right. So we got all the rock hung, except for this section in the very back here, which, like I said, I may not do. I may leave that open, mainly because when I build out this room over here, I'm going to be tapping off of that power. There's plenty of power on that. So I mean, it's a 15 amp circuit. It's not, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I may be tapping off of that for this room. We'll see what happens. But for now, that's going to stay the way it is. But yeah, now all we got to do is mud it. That's the fun part. Alright, our first coat of mud is in place. We're going to let that dry overnight, and we'll come back and we'll sand it smooth, and then we'll have to go back and patch in what didn't come out. As for what's going on up here, I'm going to put a piece of pine trim along that. I'll never get that to look right otherwise. So that's going to happen. This is the corner bead, corner molding. This gets mudded in place. Oops, got a bit of a wrinkle there. To fix that. So anyway, I stapled this into position, and the mud is what holds it in place. I don't know what the correct way to, whatever. You know, it's funny. I've watched a lot of videos on drywall installation, and they make everything look so easy. Oh, just throw it in there. You know. Okay, we got the corner bead in. I mean, it's there. It's gonna need a little bit of sanding and then another coat to cover it up properly. But other than that, all the rock is done. Now here's the thing, I have just enough, I think, to finish the job completely. Just barely enough. I'm not going to do that though. Like I said, we're going to leave that other wall open for now. And that's that. So I got to get this desk put back where it belongs. And clean that up a little better on the floor. But no, actually, I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna paint that. I'm not gonna leave it uncoated. The paint that I bought is a mold inhibitor, so that could be helpful. Well, today just might be the day to get this sink in place. I got the drain parts, and my brother-in-law is coming over to help me lift it. So we'll see what I don't know if I can lift it. I mean, I will try, but ultimately, I may not be able to lift it. I think this is the upper limit of what I can lift. Above, a little bit above. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. So I did some brainstorming here, and I thought about this for a minute. What if we were to lift it up almost just about high enough to clear the base? Just enough. And that'll reduce the amount of lifting we have to do. Fucking cat toys. The hard part is going to be getting this over here, over there. It's going to be really awkward. I guess I'm going to take that spot since I'm the smallest guy, so I'd rather myself get hurt than somebody else on my property, so you know how that goes. And if you don't, consider yourself lucky. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to have to do her. So, why do I put myself into these situations, folks? Why do I do that? Why? Why, man? Alright. This is fairly stable. But look at how much it's bending in that cart. Some serious weight. Yeah, it was a... Okay, so the big heavy bastard's installed. Well, it's in place. It's not really installed until we get the drain hooked up, so what do you say we do that next? Now, I've expressed concerns about the quality of the flange being very poor. So, this is what we got. This is the rubber donut they give you. And that's it. So I believe, and there were no instructions, I did not take this thing out, so I do not know how the seal goes on. I am just speculating that well, maybe it goes on like this. That makes a lot of sense, I guess. Yeah? What do you think? Alright, so maybe that's how it goes on. Alright, we're going to find out in a minute. As soon as we start tightening this flange down. So, we got some bolts here. I don't have, my tripod won't fit under here. So I'm going to position the camera like this. And you're just going to have to hope that it works, I guess. There aren't any instructions online on how to hook up one of these sinks, which is unfortunate because I'm sure a lot of people are doing this now. Seems like, oh great, the bolts don't fit. My flange is wider than the bolts are. So, oh wait, no, they're just dirty. Okay, here we go. All right. So these are like toilet flange bolts, only really short. So. And it came with these little plastic dealies that snap on the bolt. Like that. To keep the bolt retained. Maybe if we put those on first. Alright. So yeah, we'll put those on. Best we can. But my flange is in pretty good shape. It's not broken and it's not horribly rotted either, so I have a good feeling about this one. I really do. But the replacement bottom flange does not look good. God, that is such a thin casting. I mean, if you're gonna make it out of cast anything, you know, don't cheap out like that. I mean, they didn't charge a lot. I mean, the kit was 30 bucks. You know, it wasn't like it was $70 and change, you know, it wasn't a lot of money, but I still expect more out of my flanges than that shit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go real conservative on tightness on this. I even gave you lock nuts. Oh, that was nice of him. Alright, we're gonna go real conservative on this and make sure we use the included washers too, to kind of even out the torquing or the clamping force. Alright. Yeah. Oh boy. So one of the reviews was actually the one that got me, you know, thinking about quality issues with this kit. And the guy, oh, I can't use my nut driver because the bolts are too damn long. All right. Okay. All right. So that's, I guess that's the rough of it. That's how it's roughly assembled. I'm going to get a wrench. Oh, these aren't even, these aren't lock nuts. Let's make sure that that gasket is nice and evenly on there. You don't want to go very tight on this flange. That will be the key takeaway here. I think it's on right. Make sure that's in all the way. Let me, I don't have a 1/2-inch wrench here. Not downstairs. Oh, that doesn't want to stay on, huh? Okay, well. Oh, you know why? Yeah. I know why. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it. I can't imagine how many of these sinks are still in original service. There's got to be a lot more of these kits available, right? Different kinds. All right, let's see if I can go like this. Son of a bitch. Let's try that. Okay. Alright. I think the seal's good. Alright. I'm not going to go any tighter than that right now. It's because I don't have a lot of faith in this assembly. So I'm going to tighten down my drain. Just tighten all these down. I've got a nice new rubber seal on this one. I love me some rubber seals, I tell you what. They generally don't leak unless you really fuck up. Okay. Let's turn the water on. Okay. This will be the first time water's been in this sink in many years. There we go. Let's find the leaks. Because we know it's going to leak. It leaks. Turn it off. Oh, wrong faucet. There's leaking. Okay. Where's it leaking from? Yeah, right there. What if we tighten this up a little more? Will it stop it? I might have this seal on wrong, so don't worry, I got a few more tricks up my sleeve. As long as we don't overdo the tightness, we'll be okay. Even if we do, I'll just try to find another flange. But the problem is, if we really caulk it up, we won't be able to wash the clothes for about a week or two. Because guess what's also on this line? Let's try that. Let me just stop it real quick. Well, that seal looks like it might have done the trick. Let's up the ante a little bit. Little orphan ante. Okay. Now let this get nice and hot, and then let's retorque these flanges. See, this seal in this direction makes more sense to me because if it's in the other direction, it's going to catch water and possibly send it where we don't want it. It's not leaking, guys. And it's not leaking. Oh man, I want to wash some clothes like old-fashioned style. Let's fill this tub with the water. Steamy. Son of a bitch, we have a leak. I did not see that crack, but that's okay. It's fixable. That is a new crack. I don't think I ever saw that before. Son of a mother. Yeah, it leaks. Yeah. Alright, that's okay. We can fix that. What we gotta do is just trust out that drain again. Make sure that's not leaking. But yeah, there's a crack in her. Why wouldn't there be, right? Son of a bitch. Yeah, there's a crack. Yep, didn't see that coming. I really didn't. Where's that water from? Is that from over here? I think so. Yeah, it's dry up here. Son of a bitch. It wouldn't be a DIY home project if it wasn't a problem, right? And now we know why they took it out of service. Of course, that's how we find out after we go through all that trouble. But yeah, it's got a leak. So the way you fix that, from what I gather, I mean that must be a brand new crack too. Like, it wasn't there before. You've got to be shitting me. Well, oh God, you've got to be shitting me. This is a quite common problem with these though. And the crack is right along the basin. That's where it is. So all you do, you grind that out, you find out where it begins and ends, and you just fill it in with epoxy. It looks like somebody already tried. I'm not too worried about it. Let's try the other basin. Let's see how that one goes. But yeah, it's cracked. Didn't know it. Right, yeah, right there. That's alright, we'll fix her. There are plenty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pool paint, and we're going to paint the inside with pool paint. As long as the crack doesn't get any worse. What the hell? Yeah, it probably will. Son of a bitch. I'm kind of pissed off, but not surprised. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. How about this side? What do we got going on here? Anything? No. Yeah, there are plenty of tips and tricks for cleaning these out and fixing the leaks. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to seal up to about here with maybe a pool paint or something like that. It's like a rubberized something or other. But yeah, I can see the crack now. It's got to be the way, right? It's just got to be it, right? Alright, so I just spent a good amount of time just cleaning, deep cleaning the basin with a wire brush and some Dawn detergent and hot water, and I gotta do this side again. But what I'm gonna do to fix that crack, so it looks like it goes all the way over here, all the way around there. You can see where it begins and ends. Echo chamber. I think it has good acoustics. I should film all my videos like this. I sound good. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dremel and I'm going to grind out this crack. All the way here, all the way to there. It's a pretty extensive crack. In fact, I'm surprised the floor isn't cracked. Unless it is. Let's take a look. But you can see there's the crack. Yeah, we're not going to worry about the exterior. That's not where you don't fix a crack by sealing it on the outside. You fix it by sealing it on the inside. All right, so the tub doesn't leak at all at the bottom. Drain's nice. Been washing it for a little while, and so what we're going to do, yeah, that's all it is. Just a simple harmless crack. So what we'll do is I'm going to use hydraulic cement. I'm going to grind it out. I'm going to patch it with hydraulic cement. And I'm going to probably finish the inside of the tub with some kind of a impermeable barrier. And that's that. That's what we're going to do. So like I said, I mean, it could be worse, but it's not. I've got to grab my brush and I got to touch that up now. So there's that. But folks, she's back where she belongs. This is a sink that you would typically find in a house of this age. Although far too many of them have been busted up and thrown in the garbage. This one, I got to be honest with you. Had I known it was cracked, I wouldn't have bothered. I would have called someone to haul it away. So, you know, just take that for what it's worth. Had I known it was cracked, but now that it's in place, and I've decided I'm going to come up with a plan to fix it, rather than go through all that work and tear it back out again. Another antique saved. Thanks for watching. So throughout all this brouhaha, I took a good look at my my mud job, and I found that it had already begun to dry and it was already shrunk a little bit. So this wallboard compound, it does shrink. So that's why you've got to go back and sometimes go over it again. So I let it shrink down, and then I coated it one more time, and then I'll sand tomorrow. With any luck, I won't have to patch it too much tomorrow, and I'll be able to just get my wall, get the primer up on the wall. And the primer is only that, it's just the primer. So I'm going to have to paint this after I prime it. The primer that I use, like I said, is a Zinsser product. And it's designed to resist and kill existing mold. Not that there's any mold on there, but paint directly over existing mold, mildew, odor causing bacteria. It's got fungicides built in. So we'll see how that works out. It's just a primer, so I'm gonna top coat this. I think I have an overabundance of beige paint. And that, my friends, is what I'm going to use. Because why? Because it's already bought and paid for, and I don't have to buy more of it. Let's see what I got. I think I'm going to use this. Yeah. But I think I might have a full gallon. Ooh. Master Bedroom A. That's this lighter color. That's what I'll use. It's a full can. Never opened. So we're going to use it. Use it or lose it. That's the name of the game with this paint stuff. You use it or lose it, because it goes bad over time. Eventually it will actually go bad. So we want to get it used. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use that up. I'm not going to paint the master bedroom this color ever again. So that'll be a nice light beige. It'll almost match that sink. What do you think? I like it. Not really. But again, it's paint that I got to use up. This is a basement. This is not the living room.